I got to tell you my one free agent that the 49ers should sign. And I'm going to go a little like a guy that nobody's talking about. And it's a guy I liked when in his free agency class when he came out. It's Adam Humphries. The Niners need a slot. I've heard people talk about Julian Edelman and how the Niners should trade for him. Adam Humphries is a approximation of Julian Edelman, but younger. What's up?
All right. Here's a name that's getting floated out there, and he's kind of similar, but you may not like the name because of how long he's been in the league. But it's still something to think about because it's literally going to be a free acquisition.
Are you going to say Larry Fitzgerald?
No. Danny Amendola.
Okay. That's a good one.
Danny Amendola is somebody who could be out there who he definitely gets no guaranteed money. He's coming over here because he would want to chase a ring, things like that. He could be somebody that, I love the Adam Humphries call. But I definitely could see a fit for Amendola as well for nothing to do similar things.
Okay, let's talk about both of them, right? So what we do know is that the reason Trent Taylor has been on this team and they've really pursued it is because he has a chemistry with Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo comes from New England where you have these smart slot receivers that know how to find space and coverage. They understand coverage, and they do a really good job of catching the ball in traffic and making these tough, like 4 to 5 yard to 7 yard catches. I mean, Jarvis Landry's made a career of just being smart on knowing how to where to sit in coverage, especially in zone, and having good hands and taking hits and making catches. And I think both Danny Amendola and Adam Humphries, I think both would be cheap. I think both are two guys you bring into camp, and they just compete for that slot job. I mean, the Niners, at the end of the day, after the money they gave Juszczyk, there's no way they're going to be 11 personnel offense. So there's no way they need to spend a premium on their slot receiver. This is going to be a third down guy. This is going to be a red zone guy. This is going to be a guy when you're behind, and he has to just come in and be your third receiver. And for that, I think that there's going to be little guaranteed money, as Jason said, on Amendola. I don't believe there will be a lot on Humphries because I don't think Humphries' market has been that much. I mean, Galladay just got signed. Curtis Samuel, it took a while for him to get signed. Corey Davis got signed fast, but the receiver market has been slow. It's been really slow. So for those, Marvin Jones still is yet to be. Oh, Marvin Jones went to the Jaguars. My bad. But the point is the receiver market has been slow. I think both Amendola and Humphries would be a good fit, and I think there would be something that Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's the quarterback next year, or whoever the 49ers quarterback next year, would welcome.
Interesting. You want to go, Jay?
Yeah, I agree. It's more, again, I hate the points of the past. 2017, Trent Taylor, they had it clicking. Unfortunately, Trent Taylor really, he got robbed of any sort of, short area quickness that he had with all those injuries to his feet. But that is something that I think that Jimmy Garoppolo misses, is one of those guys that on third down can make moves and things like that for him to get open, when the play breaks down and things like that. So, yeah, I think that they've been lacking that. Now, my thing was when I was looking at addressing the third receiver spot, I was looking at Smokey Brown. I obviously wanted Curtis Samuel. He was probably out of our price range. But what I wanted a guy who could run all those same routes like them. But Smokey Brown can do other things over the top, and run different routes. And he's a better player than, Kendrick Bourne is. Let's just keep it, keep it fair. But that's what I think is that, if they're going to go for something traditionally like that, then Adam Humphries and Danny Amendola fit that profile of Trent Taylor, who actually, can give you more, because Amendola was actually surprisingly effective last year. And I'll tell you, the only reason that I know that is because I play in a dynasty PPR league with like 38 bench spots, and he's on there. And I plugged and played him a few weeks, and he's good for 7 catches and 74 yards, which, hey, 14 points you'll take, So, and that was without Stafford. So that's the thing. So, I mean, it's just, you're talking about replacing, you're just talking about depth and guys who know how to play the game, and another thing that I thought about is, Amendola and Welker together, again, all those things. So, I mean, it's a great point. If that's the way they want to go and they want to actually bring back that Trent Taylor role, those are two perfect guys.
To Danny Amendola, too, to your point, how many clutch catches did that guy have on the Patriots? Every third down, every big game, like, this dude just became superhuman. So, if the Niners are playing primetime games, like, this man will just turn into Welker for some reason. And then back with Humphries too, I think that's another like great player, pretty solid and like under the radar guy from the Titans. He actually got a pretty decent deal with them. But I think one thing driving down the receiver market now is this crop, or the last couple of crops of like receivers in the draft have just been like really, really star-studded. Chase, Judy, Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, the guys this year, Smith, Waddle, all that. So I think that's helping these veteran free agent receivers not be as expensive for teams like the Niners that do need a third or maybe fourth piece.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And that's where I just think the investment of draft pick, it still is too high. Like, I love Elijah Moore. I just think spending a second-round pick or a third-round pick on Elijah Moore is just too heavy an investment, given what the Niners have invested in the position already, which is why I like Diami Brown a lot too, though I don't think Diami Brown's a slot. That's where I just say that, look, these guys are the value, what you're going to pay them is going to be next to nothing. They're really smart. They're pros. They've had good seasons elsewhere. You're not asking a lot of them, really. You're just asking them to contribute in a small way. And you're not going to be 11 personnel offense. Like, we understand that. You're going to be in 21 and 22 personnel. So these guys just have to be good on third down. And if all things go right with this offense, it's usually 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3. And it's really, can you run a stick route? Can you run a jerk route? Can you do stuff like that? And these two guys are more than capable of doing it. They have good hands. They're tough. They understand how to read coverage and how to sit down their routes. They're just good players. And I think that both would contribute in a very positive way for the 49ers if they were signed.